The Stoics often talked about one of the keys to living a peaceful life was to use your reasoned mind and not your emotional reaction to things. So I want to tell you a story. Last night, 1 o'clock in the morning, baby wakes up, normal. He's got to wake up, he's got to feed. Wife gets up, start doing the thing. I hear my old lady dog, she's 14 years old. I hear her tapping around on our hardwood floor. She needs to go outside. So I get up, I put her outside. I wait, I bring her back in. Then she's still tapping around. I get her to lay down. She gets back up again. I start getting a little bit annoyed. Here's why. Went to bed at 10. I got to get up at like 3:40 in the morning. I knew what time it was at that point. So I'm already calculating in my head like we always do. Okay, if I go back to sleep now, I got about 2.5 hours of sleep left. And every moment that ticks by that I'm up moving around is less sleep that I get. And I know me that the more awake I get, the harder it's going to be for me to go back to sleep. So I'm a little bit annoyed at that point. I finally get the dog to calm down, get back in bed, help the wife get a bottle for the baby. I lay back down and my head's now churning. Now I'm starting to think of work and the things I got to do and how little sleep I get and all those things, right? We don't rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our training. So in that moment, I had a decision to make. I could keep going down that rabbit hole, keep letting my head churn with all the thoughts and things swirling around, or I could go back to the things that I tell everybody else to do and use your reasoned mind to calm things down. So in that moment, what I began to do was express gratitude. Now, I wasn't saying anything out loud, but in my head, I'm laying in my very nice, comfortable bed, and my beautiful wife's over there feeding our baby. And in that moment, there was just so much to be grateful for. I was grateful for the roof over my head and my family and that bed I was laying in and the warmth. It was windy outside. We could hear things clattering outside. I was grateful to be inside. I was grateful my dog is still alive. We've had a couple scares lately thinking that she was going to pass away because she's a big old dog. And sooner or later, that's going to happen. So I had to reframe very quickly what was happening and then find the joy in those moments, because I could have just laid there and been irritated, which probably would have kept me up even longer than I already was. But it allowed me to just calm everything back down. It calmed my heart rate back down. It allowed me to focus on things that brought joy to me. And ultimately, it got me back to sleep way faster than if I would have just laid there and stewed over things. So these practices that we talk about of making good choices and having daily gratitude, all those things matter, but they matter more in the moment, not just in the routine of the day, but they matter when you can tap into that stuff in the moment and change your perspective almost immediately and find joy in what you're doing. So don't let your emotions control what you're doing. Go back to your training. Always lean back on those studies. There's a reason we read. There's a reason that we practice. There's a reason for all those things. So you have to implement them when the time comes. I hope this adds value to you. Don't forget, I'm Mark Z, your joy coach. Get out there, go find some joy.